Welcome back. We are going to work on our May block of the month today. This is the block we will be making. It is the Kona block of the month quilt that we're working on. And here's what our end product should look like. This is the set that we will be working with. They give us a set of charm packs each month. So we are going to work with this and get started making this square. Now, if you remember, we are not doing it the traditional way that they're saying to do it with the piano keys around the quilt. We are going to make a black background and a white background. So we'll end up with two quilts and some excess charm packs to do something else with. We don't know what right now anyway. But that's what we're working on. We're going to get started cutting them and, well, let's get started. I've got both of my sets cut out. Now remember, I'm doing the black one for this video purpose, but I'm also going to show you what the white will look like. So I have already cut my charm packs down to the size they told me to cut. The same size for the black as is the white. As is the charm packs. So I've got these two sets cut, and then I've got the bigger blocks ready. So now I am ready to build my blocks. I'm going to put the big ones to the side for right now because those are my corner pieces for this block. I won't need them just yet. Now I've got these. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of each and I'm going to stack them up just like that. Then I'll take on the lighter of the blocks so that I can see it better, unless I'm going to use a white chalk or something like that on that side. Then I'll take this side and I'll just use either a disappearing ink pen or a pencil or something and draw that line. Then I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch on each side of these lines, and I'm going to do that for each piece. So I'll match the next ones up, I'll draw a line diagonal, I'll sew 1/4 inch all the way down these two lines, these two stacks. Now I'll sew my 1/4 inch. I'll turn it and I'll sew down the other side of that line a 1/4 inch. Then I'll cut my thread. I'll cut my thread. Then I'm going to cut down this line. Now for me, it's easier to do it with a rotary cutter. So I'll just cut down that line. And now I've got two half square triangles, if I can get them open. There you go. Now I've got two different half square triangles of the same set. Then I'll put these to the side. I'm going to do the same thing with all of these. To me, it's easier to draw all my lines first and then just chain piece them through here like we've done in the past. And I'll show you again how we do that. But then I'm going to do the same thing I just did here down all of these. So I'll draw a line and I will stitch on both sides. But to me, it's easier to do this. Do one, and you could draw all your lines first if you wanted to, and then do the sewing, but I'll just do it as I go. You just need to make sure when you're sewing these together that you always have one background and one of the charm packs that they provided. And once I get done sewing down this one side, because I won't bore you with doing all these on here, I'll sew all the way down one side, then I'll pull it out and I'll flip it and I'll sew the other side of that line. I'll never sew on the line that I drew, not for this pattern, because this pattern, that becomes my cut line. So don't sew on the line you're drawing right here in this step. That's going to be your cut line. So I'm going to keep going until I have all of these done, then I'll iron them open and I'll come back. Once you have your half square triangles all sewn together and ironed open, you're going to take 2 random ones, the colors don't have to match, and you're gonna make flying geese like this. Once you've done that, you are going to take 2 of these and sew them together like this. You'll sew down that side at 1/4 inch. And then when you open it up, it will look like this. You'll iron it open. And now you've got a flying geese unit. You want to make 6 of these. Once we have 6, we'll come back and do the next step. But for now, I'm just gonna pick random squares and make 6 units that look like this. There's 1, I got 5 more to do, and then we'll come back. Once you have 8 units that are sewn together like this to make your flying geese, then you're going to take them and sew 2 together. Now, the way I did it was, let me get this string. The way I did it is I'm gonna need them to look like this when I sew them together. So I don't want my seams going all the same way when I'm sewing these together, because then it'll be bulky on one side. So I've sewn one this direction. See how ironed it this direction. See where the seam's going to the right here. This one, I pressed it to the left. So every other one, when I pressed it, I would press it like this, and the next one I would turn it up facing this way, and I'd press it the same way, so that when I put them together with the points facing down, one would be one direction and one would be the other. So I'm going to flip them on top of each other. I'm going to find the center mark, that center seam, and pin them together like this. And because I sewed one to the left and one to the right, then I've got a much flatter seam right here. Then I'll line this up and I'll just stitch down this side at 1/4 inch seam allowance. And when I'm done with that, I'll take that pin out. I'll open it up and it'll look like this. And then I'm just gonna iron it open. And I'm gonna want 4 units that are made like this. So I'll take my next one and I'll put it this way and put it this way. If my seams are both going the same direction, and they are in this one, I'll press one the opposite way. So now when I put them to the points going down, one seam's to the right and one seam's to the left. So now I'll line these up and I'll line that center seam up, pin it, and do the same thing. I'll stitch down this side at 1/4 inch. I'm going to do the same thing until I run out of these. And once I run out of these, I should only be left with 4 half square triangles like this. And then the units that these we've sewn together. So let's sew the rest of these together, and then I'll come back and we'll get ready for the next step. Always take these blocks step by step. Don't get stressed when you see all these different things you got to do. Just take it one step at a time. Once you get that step, take the next step, and by the time you know it, you're done with the whole block. So I'm going to keep doing this. I'll come back when we're ready for the next step and we'll move on. We've now got our 4 units like this. We got 4 of them, and then we've got the 4 corner blocks, and we've got 4 little squares, the half square triangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to make one block out of these, and we're going to put all of the black to the center. And if you're doing white, then all of your white will be the center. Whatever your background color is for this quilt, that's what that center block will be. So now we need to put these 4 into one unit. So we'll flip this one on top of each other and stitch down this side at 1/4 inch. We'll do the same thing with these. Right sides together, stitch down this side. Then we'll take these 2 units, iron them open, and sew them together to be one. And I'll want my seam going one way for one and the other way for the other one, so that they nest well together. So I'll take it like this. I got that one going to the right. I need to make this one go to the left. So now when I flip them on top of each other, this one goes to the right and that one goes to the left. Then I'll line that seam up, pin it, and then I'll pin this side as well. And then I'll stitch along this edge at 1/4 inch. Now what I've got is a block that looks like this. I'll iron it open. And I want all my blocks to be the same size as this one. So I'm going to measure these and cut them down to that size. I'm also going to measure these and cut them down to that size because right now they're just a little bit too big. So when I am cutting them down and sizing them up the way I need them to be, I'm going to make sure that these points don't get cut off. So when I cut any size off, I want to cut this side and some of this side. I don't want to cut this side. So I'm going to trim these down to the size I need them to be, and then we'll sew our block together. Once you've got your blocks together, we're going to put them into a block. I'm going to put my points facing down, my points facing up, my points facing to the center and to the center. I want all of my points facing in. Then I want this block in the middle, and then my other blocks on the outside, like so. Now I'm going to sew it into a square. So I'm going to take this one to this side, and I will pin this and sew this along this edge. I'm going to take this one to the middle block and sew it together, pinning in the center, and then stitch down that side. I'll grab this bottom one and sew it right sides together down this side. Then take the pins out, cut them apart, iron them open, and And then I'm going to line them back where they belong. And I'm going to take the extra block from each row and sew it together. So I'll put this one on top of this row and sew it. I'll take this block on the outside here and sew it like it belongs, pinning those middle seams and lining them up. Make sure I keep it lined up as I'm sewing. And I'll grab the last one and sew this block on the outside. Now, once I've got this done, where's my scissors? I'll have all 3 rows done. I just need to sew my rows together. So I'm going to iron them open to start off with. And then I put them back together. I just want to make sure that all of my points are facing that middle block. So now I'm going to take one row to the next row, move this one out of my way, pin these, lining that seam up, and then pin this other side of that square, lining it up, and then I'll pin it one more time around the middle or the end, and I'll stitch all the way down this line right here. Once I have these done, then I'll take that last row, point it to the center, and do the same thing again. So I'll start by matching up that center seam, pinning it, and then going to the outer side of that block and pinning it. My 3 points of pinning for sure are these 3. Then after that, I can just pin wherever makes me feel comfortable. So I'm going to pin this here and once about here. And now I sew all the way down this side, and then we iron it open and we're done with our block. And now we iron it open. And now we have our block. This is what the white one looks like. I mean the black one. And this is what the white one will look like. So once you get them done, these are what they look like. So now you see what I mean when I say take it step by step. Do one step at a time. Don't look at the whole picture as a whole. Start by one little thing. Do this half square triangle. Do this flying geese. Sew these together. Then maybe sew those together. Do it whatever order you want to do it in, but take it one step at a time, and it makes it so much easier. I hope this helped you with this month's block. Let me know if there's anything I can answer in the questions below. The block should measure 18 inches when you are done making this entire block. And at that, we're done with our block. We're done with May. We are waiting on June now, and we will work on that block here shortly. Until then, you guys have a great afternoon. Do whatever you're doing that makes you happy. And until next time, happy quilting.